Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do an episode of Auntie Say It Isn't So, Say It Isn't So. Castillo and Coco. Full disclosure, part one, part two, Trend Central. Do you know what I'm talking about? Let's get into it.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop
auntie
boop.
that everybody needs.
You can make this up. Now you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even bother?
Aunties and lies, sweet old auntie. Aunties and ways. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Well, welcome back, everybody, and this is Auntie. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family. And to all of my nieces and nephews and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. Y'all, today I wanted to talk about this show that is being featured on YouTube called Full Disclosure on Trend Central, which is a YouTube channel. Oh my God. Now, I have been watching some of the ratchetness on Trend Central for a while, and I never talk about it. But I have been so inundated with work that I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend my Monday night talking about things that I want to talk about. I don't want to be on a schedule. I will get back to the regular scheduled programming, but I have absolutely got to tell you all about this show. Yes, it is out of the norm for your dear old auntie, but it's ratchet. And I thought if it was ratchet enough for me, it's ratchet enough for you. Y'all, this show on Full Disclosure, on Trend Central called Full Disclosure, is where people come together, I guess boyfriend, girlfriends, and stuff like that, and they talk about things that have happened in the past or whatever. Oh my God. So episode 1 and 2 featured Coco and Castillo. Okay. Now, Castillo is a rapper and an influencer, right? And he was dating this girl named Coco. So when the show opens up, y'all, okay, y'all, seriously, when the show opens up, we see him sitting on the sofa. He's I guess a black guy. Um, I was trying to find out some information on him, but it's like hardly any. His Instagram page is private. I don't know why, but that's private. But evidently, he's big in the UK, I'm thinking, right? And he was dating this girl named Coco. They were dating each other for 4 years. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 years. And during the relationship, the two of them have broke up like a couple of times, right? And he was just, ratchet. So we see Coco coming down the hallway with her little, plaid jacket on, her little leather skirt and everything, looking all cute, keeping it all tight. and the two of them are sitting in sofas across from one another. And so while the two of them are sitting across from one another, they making little hellos and everything. And you can tell that Coco, is a little upset. She's a little, she's a little upset and bothered. And he has brought her here in order for him to discuss some things that have happened in their relationship in the past. And I guess this is a full disclosure in order to give her closure. Now, this mofo goes on to tell her, that he loved her. If you're not watching it after this video, click on the mofo and see it for yourself. This mofo decides that he wants to bring her, to the table, and he begins, having this discussion with her about, their past relationship, etc. They talking about, he's talking about, the relationship and was it a good relationship and knick-knack paddywhack, give a dog a bone. Now Coco is sitting there and she's trying to maintain her composure as best as she can, considering that this is a mofo that she ended up having to break up with because of a bunch of cheating. Now, rapping and being an influencer, that's gonna bring the girls to the yards. Just straight up, that's gonna bring the girls to the yards. He is not a good looking guy in my opinion, right? But he all right. But for girls, I guess around that age, he's a good looking guy. He's a rapper, he out there on on a YouTube, and so I guess they're just, drawn to him for whatever. And so he's sitting down with Coco and he starts to, tell Coco about their relationship. During this conversation, he starts going into the fact that he had was in love with her. He indicates, later on in the programming, he indicates that he was born of two parents who were schizophrenic. He didn't really have a relationship with them. His mother or grandmother raised him, and that's who he calls his mother. He says that that is his like love, right? He loves his grandmother. But he doesn't have the ability to love other people. Because, honey, he told this girl, Coco, that he loved her after being in a relationship with her for a year. However, he cheated with not one, not five, not 10, but 16 women. He began to describe to Coco that she, after dating her for a year and her meeting his family, because she didn't allow him to meet hers, but her meeting the family, her meeting his family, that he fell in love with her after a year. She said, well, how can you call yourself being in love with me if you was cheating on me? So he was like, a man can love a woman and still cheat with 16 other people. Where they do that at? At his house. She said that she, in a relationship, he said she was good to him. She said she was good to him. And she asked him, how could you have cheated? When did you have the time? After I left your house, were you cheating? This mofo says because his parents were schizophrenic, he said that, in another interview with somebody named ZZ Mills, he said that his mother, I think, was trying to bathe him and the water was too hot and the grandmother took him, something like that. But anyway, he didn't really grow up with his parents. He met them later on in life. Of course, he resented them. And as a result of it, he appears to be resentful of every other woman. He told Coco that she was at the top of the food chain. She was a princess up here. Let me move this camera, y'all. There we go. She was at the top of the chain. Then he said he had a Jamaican chick here and a supermodel here. They was on tier two. And then all the other women were on the tiers down here at the bottom. This mofo went on to indicate that he would go around these girls' parents, he would go around their families, their friends, everything, because he didn't give a fuck about them. He cared nothing about the result of that. He would just go around their family and play games. Now, Coco was thinking like I was. You're doing it backwards. Coco said, usually men who don't care anything about a woman won't go around their family. But for him, he decides he's going to do the opposite. Now, Coco indicated that he never met her parents, which was a good thing. But when she found out that she was on this pyramid and that she was the queen on the top, she walks off, right? And she starts to cry. They have to, fix her makeup, and she comes back. And when she comes back with that wall up. Because now she see the gap, what he is trying to say to her. She know what's getting ready to happen, Captain, and everything. This mofo sits up there and begins to tell this girl how he is detached from people. He doesn't have any feelings for people. Basically, he don't give a fuck about people. He just, sleep with women. And the reason why he sleeps with women is because he feel like that's a major accomplishment. That's about the only accomplishment that he has ever had in his life. The ability to get girls. Now, you mean to tell me that your life is small, that your claim to fame and the thing that you lay down in bed and you feel good about is sleeping and breaking women? It got to the point where he and Coco started talking about this woman that he was in a relationship with. He said that this woman he had been in a relationship with for 2 years. And in this relationship, the woman had told him at the beginning she couldn't have kids. Well, y'all know what we mean when we say that we can't have kids. It don't literally mean that we can't have kids. It just means that we can't have kids right now. Okay? Because come to find out, not only could girlfriend have kids, but she got pregnant with his child. He indicated that he did not want any children. The only person that he ever wanted children with was Coco. But Coco was smart. Coco, thank you. Whatever contraceptives, honey, that you was using not to get pregnant by this mofo for the 4 years that you was with him, honey, it need to be spread out free. Because Coco did not have a kid by him. And I'm going to tell you, honey, that's the best thing ever happened to Coco. Is that she is now forever attached to this mofo. The best thing ever happened to Coco is that she ain't with him. He is just dogging women out. He said that he only was in love with her. But how can love cause you to cheat with 16 other women because you feel like that's an accomplishment? He said that, he makes an excuse and reasons, for doing this, saying that, he had a rough life. Do you know how many people had a rough life and still living a rough life? Do you know the homeless stats? Do you know how many kids are murdered? And you sit out here making an excuse? Are you serious? Are you serious? I don't know how Coco sat through that. Because she was trying to get him to understand that he's cold. Now, this woman who said that she could not get pregnant got pregnant by him. And of course, it was her fault that she got pregnant. Won't his, it was hers. Because I'm sure that he was, raw in it, no umbrella, no tent, no nothing, by his own admission on somebody else's channel. He goes and he has this baby with her, and because she lied, he ghosts her for 4 years. No relationship with his kid whatsoever. Zero. He said the reason why he's connected to the little girl now is not because he has a connection to her or loves her, allegedly, but because he believes it's doing the right thing. Doing the right thing. And now he goes on his channel and backpedals and pussy pops and said that he ain't that type of person and all this. There's an article. Hold on, let me get my glasses on. Where's the article? There's an article on the Shade Burrow, TSB, that says Andy Amati, CEO of Trend Central, has been accused of stealing an original YouTube show idea as well as uploading contents of individuals without their consent. So let me bring this article up so y'all can see what this mofo look like, because y'all have got to see what he look like. Yeah, y'all got to see what he look like. They say sharing is caring. Let me bring this mofo up for y'all. This is Castillo. I guess he think that he's the 2022 version of Samson with the long hair. I wonder what would happen if somebody cut that mother off his head. This guy that's in the hat is the CEO of Trend Central. Now he out there on his YouTube channel mad because it got released. He sat down with Coco and said all of this stuff, and now he want to backpedal off of it. And of course, he needs to be pussy popping because now he wants people to go and flag Trend Central because he didn't mean what he said. It wasn't supposed to come out. So Castillo and his former girlfriend Coco have taken to social media to express that the footage was recorded last year, and both parties have asked to retract their involvement since then. Coco's Instagram read, the video that Castillo and I filmed together was made last year. The Trend Central team were fully aware that we no longer wanted it out. Too late. Castillo posted from his story that no consent form was signed. He says, quote, from the time a woman says she doesn't give you her consent, you got to respect that director, Epstein. Andy also took to his Instagram story to respond by referring to Castillo as a sore loser and insisting that he was lying because he was afraid to be exposed. Now I'm gonna put this article down in the comment, in the description box so that y'all can see it. Now I sat there and I took the time out to listen to him while he was driving in his car. Oh, I said, who can this hurry up and be over? So he's sitting up there saying that he was saying these things about his child because he was mad. You was mad at the time. Allegedly, he felt this way and now he don't. But see, that's the thing about going and filming something and then wanting the person to backpedal along with you. But I guess that, Trend Central CEO said, no, we're going to pedal forward. We're going to keep this train, this bus, this car, this mode of transportation moving forward. What you're not going to do is sit and say, I'm sorry, I don't want you to run it. Because let me tell you something, honey. Him running it was to my enjoyment and hopefully to y'all. If you like trash, this is some trash. There was another episode that was dropped today. Boo boo. Boo boo. that's just as good. I am finding myself looking at programs that are filmed, developed, produced outside of the United States. It's getting good to me. This mofo is some straight trash. He said, I don't give a F about them women so many times. I could not believe it. And Coco was like, how, like you talk about cold, calculated, because, and then he says, I don't want to hurt nobody's kids. That's why I didn't. So he tells Coco that he didn't want any kids. That the only child that he ever would have wanted would have been with Coco. Right? So Coco is like, well, you don't feel no way about hurting your own baby. He was like, no, I don't give a fuck. He talking all this big stuff until the footage come out. Because now you realize what you said and how it's going to look to your fan base. That here you are, a young man who's been through hurt and harm by your parents, having to be raised by your grandmother. Okay, shout out to grandmothers all around the world. That you didn't care nothing about the little girl, that you in the little girl's life. And now you're concerned about whether or not she's going to see it, hear it, smell it, taste it. Now you're concerned. But you were shorty badass when you were sitting up there saying all that stuff around Coco. And now all of a sudden you got an issue with it. And you don't want it out. But see, that's the thing about words. The power of life and death are in your cotton freaking tongue. And one thing about words is you may forgive them, but you ain't going to forget them. Maya Angelou says it's not, okay, what you said. It ain't even how you said it. It's how you made me feel. Because words have created this world from day eight, boo. From the rising of the sun to the going down of the same. This world was created with words. Unless you believe in, other things. But that's beside the point. This mofo now is going back and trying to pull everything back after he sat there and humiliated Coco and told Coco how many women he was with, how he was with them, and some more stuff. He told her he didn't want no kids. And then, but then I look at a video, a interview that he did with this girl named Zizi. And in the video with Zizi, this same mofo said he wanted kids and that he wanted marriage. It was real funny because the whole time that Zizi was sitting there interviewing with him, she kept saying, you just seem detached. He admitted that he doesn't have any attachment to people. He admitted that he doesn't have bonds with people. But see, he thought it was cute while he was sitting there telling Coco all of this. My whole thing is, why meet with Coco if your intention is to just tear Coco down? Because that's where I saw it going. But one thing about Coco, Coco had that snapback. She had that snapback. That snatchback. She had that snatchback. Because every time he said something, Coco was on it. She said, so what do you plan on getting out of this? He said, I just wanted to, give you some closure and, tell you the truth. She said, done. And got her ass up and sashayed on out of there with her little pocketbook. Again, if you want to see something that's a little different from what we are so accustomed, we have become accustomed to looking at, I want y'all to go out there to Trend Central, tell them Auntie sent your ass, and look at this new program called Full Disclosure. Okay, you say he's the sniper on all digital program. Let me see if I can pull him up. The sniper. Oh, he don't look like he got nothing new out here. It's a couple of snipers out here. So I don't know which one he really is. Yeah, I don't have no idea which one that he is because it's a bunch of them. But I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all want a different kind of entertainment and y'all want something different, you want to see some drama, honey, unfold, check out Trend Central on YouTube. Thank y'all so much for letting me bring something to y'all different. I appreciate it. And now back to our regular scheduled programming. Love y'all. Don't miss it, y'all.